Okay, so I'm gonna come at you guys today with another updated Detroit Lions mock draft. This is my 4.0. So let's get on with it. In the first round, the Detroit Lions trade down from the 8th selection down 2 spots with the Denver Broncos, who are trading up to get their quarterback of the future in this mock draft I have. In my previous one, I have the Miami Dolphins as a trade partner. Either or I could see happening, as well as possibly even a team that we won't even expect. Maybe the New England Patriots, because we do have ties there. Could be wanting to trade up. But here I have us trading with the Denver Broncos. But moving on, we get their 10th selection in the first round, 71st in the third, and their 148th selection in the fifth for the 8th overall pick. So they're only getting pretty much the 8th pick is a value, especially with quarterbacks on the board. So they're gonna have to give us a lot just to move up those 2 spots. But anyway, let's get on with it. At pick 10 in the first round, I have the Detroit Lions selecting a very safe pick here. And that is Jonah Williams, offensive tackle of Alabama. 6'4", 302 pounds. He's a solid starter in the league. I see him playing the right side in the league, and Rick Wagner isn't getting any younger. And also he's not been playing at the highest level since we've signed him. So I think bringing Jonah Williams in and kind of plugging him in there and possibly even adding Jonah Williams' depth for one season, because Rick Wagner's making a lot of money this year. You think it's like 11.8 million unless they restructure the contract. But Jonah Williams comes in at pick number 10. Moving on to the second round, where we carry the 43rd selection. There's been a lot of not rumors, but there's been some news that Montez Sweat has a heart condition. I have us picking him up in the second round at pick 43. Montez Sweat is an excellent edge rusher. Blew up the combine, ran a 4.41 at 6'6", 240 pounds. He's a very physical guy, and I believe he's one of the best edge rushers in the draft. But due to that heart condition, I believe he will fall to a day 2 guy or even a very late first rounder. But Montez Sweat, I have him going in this mock draft to the Detroit Lions. Moving on, round 3 to pick 71, which we got from the Denver Broncos via the trade. I have us getting Josh Oliver, the tight end out of San Jose State, 6'5", 249 pounds. He hasn't been really asked to block a lot in that offense, but I do believe he has the ability to block. I believe he's going to be a very good tight end in the league, as well as he's a very established route runner, because that's what he was asked to do at San Jose State. So watch some highlights of him. He's an excellent kid. So just go ahead, watch some highlights, and just let me know what you guys think. But I think he's a pretty good stud. Moving on in the third round to our original pick, which is pick 88. I have the Detroit Lions addressing, in my opinion, is a need, and that is slot receiver. Yes, we got some in free agency, but moving on, I just think this kid here, you can't pass him up. Paris Campbell, the wide receiver of Ohio State, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He played very, very well this past season. He was one of Dwayne Haskins' favorite targets. He's very fast. He ran a 4.31 40, I believe. So he's one of the fastest wide receivers in the league in this draft. I was gonna go with Andy Isabella here, but I think he'll already be off the board because he's excellent. But Paris Campbell here, I believe, is going to be the pick. So moving on to round 4, pick 111. The Detroit Lions go ahead and address the offensive side of the ball again. Yes, that's been another pick, but I can't pronounce the guy's name, but bear with me. Bayo Benchwell, offensive guard, Wisconsin. Sorry, I slaughtered that. Cannot pronounce this name. It's German or something, but anyway, this kid's 6'6", 309 pounds. He's a very good guard. I believe he can be a plug and play, especially in the 4th round. That's a great value. And because this draft has such depth at other positions are going to slip. And I just think guard is going to be one of them. And this kid's on the board still, and Wisconsin is known for their linemen. So I believe this is going to be an excellent pickup for us, especially with his size and his run blocking ability, as well as his pass block. He's a little stiff still, but I believe he'll loosen up and learn the schemes a little bit better. But that's going to be our pick in the 4th round. Moving on to the 5th round. From the selection, I believe, nope, our original pick at 146, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Isaiah Johnson Jr., the cornerback out of Houston. Yes, we did sign a bunch of corners this offseason, but depth is never a bad thing at corner, especially when you play in the NFL. People are always getting hurt. You can never have enough corners as well as wide receivers because they take a licking over a season. And I believe Isaiah Johnson Jr. is going to be an excellent number 2 eventually. Darius Slay was picked, I believe, in the 5th round as well. So you got to keep in mind that he wasn't an instant starter his first year. Yes, he started some games, but he didn't go in there and play 150 snaps or whatever, or it was you play in a game. So Isaiah Johnson Jr. comes here, gives us a little bit more depth, learns from Darius Slay and some of the more veteran corners that we just signed onto the team, and I believe he will be a solid number 2 starting next season. Moving on to in our second pick in round 5 that we got from the Denver Broncos via the trade is pick 148. Here we address the linebacker. We have one of the worst linebacking cores in the league, and adding Montez Sweat helps take some of that pressure off because he can play some of the outside linebacker, but I believe Khalil Hodge here is a great pick, especially for the value. Linebacker at Buffalo, 6'1", 240 pounds. This guy has a nose for the ball. Came from the same school as Khalil Mack, same first name. So I believe he's going to be an excellent talent. Buffalo has been moving up in talent-wise throughout time, and they've been getting a lot of good players that go to the school, like Tyree Jackson, the quarterback that you guys know I'm high on, that I believe Detroit needs to get, but in this mock draft, I don't have them getting him, unfortunately. But Khalil Hodge here, I believe, is going to be a good pickup. Moving on to our last 4 picks here, where we carry the 184th and 204th in the 6th round. The first pick at 184, I have the Detroit Lions actually addressing defense here, and that is getting DeMarcus Christmas, the defensive tackle, out of Florida State. DeMarcus Christmas is a beast of a man, 6'4", 308 pounds. He's going to play the 1 and 3 technique position, give a little bit more depth, let Snacks Harrison get a little bit more rest. So I believe that's going to be a nice pickup there, especially for the value in the 6th round. Moving on to our next pick in the 6th round, which is 204. The Lions address wide receiver again here and get another big physical guy because Marvin Jones is on the trading block. Last I knew, I believe they are going to trade him because he is taking a big portion of our cap, and he's not as elite as he was when he came here. And I believe that Matt Patricia wants to get younger and get a little bit more physical, and he does have injury history, which is going to hurt, but Marvin Jones, I think, is on his way out, and Kenny Galladay is going to be the true number 1 in Detroit. And this pick here is going to be Antonio Wesley, wide receiver, Texas Tech, 6'4", 206. He has top-end speed as well as being able to run pretty much any route on the route tree. He's a little stiff in the hips, has excellent hands, though. So he does make up for what he lacks in mobility, but I believe he's still very young and can develop into a top number 2 receiver in the league. Moving on to the 7th round, where we carry 2 picks as well at pick 224 and 229. Pick 224, I have the Lions addressing safety here. Glover Quinn retired this season after we released him. So I have us getting Delvin Randall, the safety at Temple, 6'1", 250 pounds. I watched some tape on this kid, and I actually fell in love. I think he's going to go higher than what I have him here. But according to Draft Tech and some of the other sites I use, he was still on the board. So I can't see it. This guy has excellent ball skills. Like, one of his interceptions, I believe this past season, was a one-hand interception that some wide receivers can't even catch. Like, this kid's ball skills and ability to play the ball in the air is fantastic. He reminds me a lot of a Glover Quinn, because Glover Quinn does not let open passes. Like, if he can make a play in the ball, he makes a play. This kid does the same thing, same instincts. And being a safety, you have to have those instincts with you 100% of the time. And Delvin Randall, he's that type of player. He's a playmaker. So I like this pick here in the 7th round, 224. Excellent value, fills a need, helps us build a little more depth on that front of the ball. And the last pick in the 7th round of ours is 229. And I just had some fun here. I was going to go another way, but this, you've known me in my mock drafts, I always have the Detroit Lions drafting a quarterback. And this one, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't not get a quarterback. Here, I have the Detroit Lions selecting at pick 229, Trace McSorley, quarterback, Penn State. This kid holds crazy records at Penn State. He's an excellent quarterback. He's mobile. He can move with the pocket, and I believe he has a good arm. It's not elite, but it's a pretty good arm. He can escape pressure and kind of reminds me a little bit of a Steve Young at one point in time, but that's a big thing to say. But Trace McSorley here goes to the Lions. Like, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys think. Open to suggestions. Let me know what you guys think the Lions should do. Use this basic here. Just give me your mock draft in the comments. I don't care. I'll let you know what I think. Like, subscribe to my channel, guys. I'm out.